All right, got to ask you the cannabis question because everybody wants to know, because we're surrounded by it, including Canada, every state except us. Are you in support of legalizing recreational and
at least let's start with medical.
Yeah, I often don't mention that because that's like a no-brainer. But
and yet we still don't have it.
Yeah.
What
Well,
do you think?
I will say that I personally witnessed the amazing opportunity of medical marijuana with my mother-in-law, who was really struggling with incredible pain, and it really changed the game for her. So it's something we absolutely have to consider, because whatever we should be doing is trying to relieve pain, especially for people who have chronic pain and things like that. When it comes to total legalization, I absolutely think it should be on the table. What we've seen in other states is some states do it well. Some states have, not done it well. So let's look at the states that have done it well, and let's model how they've legalized marijuana and think about, what we want to have as a goal for that, whether it's increasing tax revenue or making sure that we're protecting the youth from overuse and things like that. Let's see what other states have done and do it really well.
I was going to say, beyond cannabis, which I think is a lot of money that's being left on the table, are there other ideas that you've had, either from your experience or just in general in talking to people, of innovative ways to be increasing revenues to pay for better public schools, revisit paid leave, a lot of different things that cost money, but are very popular. And so they're ideas that you have as far as where we could find some of that money.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm really focused on building a strong economy, because what we've seen is where we can have companies come in and invest in Wisconsin and create good paying jobs where we can start our own businesses here in Wisconsin and we can keep them here. That's the opportunity to grow the economy. Then you have more resources at hand, and you can use those resources to support your schools, to have better access to childcare and healthcare and education. All those pieces come from having a stronger economy.
One of the questions I ask candidates often is, what are the people telling you? Well, you just announced your campaign, so you're still early on. What do you think the people of Wisconsin most, before you've gone out there and talked to them, are thinking about?
Well, listen, I'm super excited. We had an amazing day yesterday for our launch. We raised over $200,000, which is just stunning to see the support. People are just really excited for an optimistic vision of the future. I'm positive. As I said in my video, I'm not going to go out and pick fights. I will protect our rights to the end of the day, but I want to make sure that we're thinking about, what comes over the hill, what's the future look like, and how can we really succeed?
All right, so what are you most excited about that has nothing to do with politics as you do this?
How'd you feel about the Packer game on Monday?
No, not that. Just
No. I'm always most excited about being able to drive home and go up my driveway. I live in southwestern Wisconsin. When I go up my driveway, I've got 70 sheep that look at me, and my 2 donkeys and my 4 dogs, and they're just so happy to see me. And no matter what happens in all this craziness, they're going to love me at the end of the day. So,
well, and I said this yesterday, and I realized, I think whether it was the Senate race in 2022, but a lot of the times when we're seeing statewide Democratic candidates, they're mostly from Madison or Milwaukee. What do you think, whether it's how you are perceived and the relationships you have, or just in general because of who you are and where you come from, living in Viroqua, living on the western part of the state, changes how you approach your campaign, how you approach your mindset?
Well, certainly my experience in the dairy industry gives me a lens into a large part of the state. I tend to think of myself as being a 72-county candidate. I have spent so much time on the road in the last 6 years, and before that, visiting Wisconsin farmers. I have been all over the state, so I don't think of myself necessarily as living in one pocket or corner of the state. I really want to represent everybody.